I've unlocked everything tier 6 in Dune Awakening completely solo, and I didn't die or lose an Ornithopter a single time. Yeah, I've been shot at. Yeah, I've been chased around 3 blocks where my Mark IV Ornithopter was being held down by another Ornithopter, and the other one blasting it from behind until I slowly descended with a missing wing, a safe zone. And got everything tier 6, and today I'm going to show you guys how to do the same exact thing completely solo. Some absolute items you must have on you at all times include a Decaliter John. Full Decaliter John lasts you hours and hours and hours into the deep desert without you ever having to refill it. You're gonna need vehicle fuel cells, medium or higher. 1 or 2 large vehicle fuel cells can have you travel across the map and back. You're gonna need a welding torch Mark V. The Mark V welding torch repairs your vehicles better than any other welding torch in the game, and it's going to make your vehicles last longer. Mark V cutter array, as that is the minimum required to mine plastinium and Stravidium nodes for tier 6 materials. There's also the Tarl cutter array. Does the same thing as the Mark V, but a little bit better. But good luck fucking getting that. I've been farming the same 3 damn chests a dozen plus times for weeks on end, and I've never found a single one. So if you found one, great, good for you. But if you're like me and have shit luck, just craft a Mark V. A Mark V power pack. A Mark IV is okay, but you're gonna find that the Mark V cutter array drains your power pack really fast, and you're not gonna want to be slowed down at all. And a Mark IV plus shield, just in case you got to turn it on while you're getting blasted by rockets. In heavy armor, at least Mark IV. Multiple times I've gotten bombarded by rockets outside my Ornithopter. I don't know if it's been a glitch or I've just taken 0 damage. I'll hop in my Ornithopter after getting rocketed, fly away, land back at base, and realize I don't have to heal at all. So make sure to have heavy armor, as I believe it reduces the damage of rockets and makes you last longer outside of your Ornithopter. And if you plan on getting spice sand out in the deep desert, bring a unique compactor, Mark III, 4, or 5. Yes, these are kind of a pain in the ass to get, but it does prevent the worm from coming out, and it will allow you to grab more piles of sand before the worm comes out. And a pair of soft step boots. Now there's multiple marks. You can farm all the way down in one of the early testing stations. It's a pretty easy farm to get, and once you get one, they last super long as you always have them on your person. The soft step boots will also help with the worm aggro. Pretty much the only perks you need are the planetologist perks. All the ones that help vehicle durability, vehicle fuel management, you're going to want to max those out, and all the ones that increase the scanning and resource gain from mining nodes. Now, the minimum Ornithopter I recommend you bring, Mark IV everything else, but the only thing Mark V you need on your Ornithopter is Mark V wings, Mark V engine. The Mark IV thruster is more than enough, and if you have the thruster on, no one's going to catch you as it is. The Mark V engine will ensure that you take off and acquire altitude as fast as possible, and the Mark V wings ensure you have maximum speed when gliding. Ornithopters, believe it or not, are very, very tanky. They could take a lot of rockets. The weakest part of your Ornithopter that causes it to get downed are the wings. So you're going to want to make sure that those are Mark V, so you ensure that they're the fastest, they have more armor, and you want to make sure to keep them topped up. The Ornithopter Scout storage in your inventory, or the Scout's thruster in your inventory. I also recommend you have an Ornithopter in reserve sitting at your base at all times. You should have a beater Ornithopter and a pristine Ornithopter at your base waiting, just in case anything happens to the Thopter that you're currently using. Do not go into the deep desert with your only Thopter. And please, for the sake of Shai Halud, do not take the assault Ornithopter into the PvP zone. I can't tell you how many times I see posts of people complaining about they got shot down driving the slowest Ornithopter in the game in a PvP zone where they have no experience. No shit, you're gonna get shot down. Find the Mark V assault Ornithopter, you're a flying lick. Of course people are gonna go after you. Sure, you can hold more, but there's nothing more detrimental than having an assault Ornithopter filled with spice sand just to end up getting shot down and ganked and to lose it all. Please do not take the assault Ornithopter in the PvP zone. The assault Ornithopter is used as a carrier Ornithopter. It should only be used to transfer all the stuff you have in your deep desert base back to Haga Basin. The only exception I'd have taking the assault Ornithopter is if you have Mark VI wings and a Mark VI engine with a Mark VI thruster. That makes it about as fast as a Mark IV Scout, and that you're taking it in the PvP zones off peak hours. Really early in the morning and really late at night. Okay, so with about 500 scrap 500 plastone or granite stone, depending on what you want to build your base out of, and a good amount of fuel cells. Now you can mine the scrap and the fuel cells in the deep desert, but I make sure to bring it from my Haga Basin base just to make sure. So get into your deep desert, look at the chats, and see kind of how people are interacting. Is everybody calling out spice fields? Are they all chilling? Or is there people complaining that they got blown up? Are there people talking shit? Reading the chat will gauge what type of DD server you're on. Some of you guys might go to the deep desert and it's super chill and it's mainly a pacifist server. Some of you guys might go into a guild run hellscape. If you think you're going to be getting a good amount of resources in the PvE zone, even if they're not building on it, you're going to get very, very minimal gains, and it's going to take you very, very long. And it's going to be very freaking boring. You're going to have to cross into the PvP zone, so it's time to nut up or shut up. When you're building a spot, you want to build all the way to the left side of the map or all the way to the right side of the map. In the D or E zones. To make sure that you're in a PvE spot, make sure to look at the red line right under your compass to see if it's orange. If it's orange, you're in a safe PvE spot. If it's red, that means you're in a PvP zone and do not build there. Don't worry about other players' bases when you pick a spot to be. You're going to want to place the regular sub-fief console down, build a little shitty base with about 2 generators and as many small chests as you could possibly make. Build a roof onto it if you bring calibrated cervix, and bring some steel. If you want to make a Penta shield, you can go ahead and do that too. I usually just pocket my Ornithopter or just land it right outside my base and put stuff in the chests from my Ornithopter, then reattach the thruster, then fly back in the deep desert. You could also have a spreadsheet of all the resources you want to bring if you want to bring refineries, wind traps, and do all that. I've personally never done that. Some people, you can refine if you want. Sometimes there's discounts depending on the lands we're at to where you can craft more per node. All right, once you have your little shitty base built, you want to detach the storage off your scout, apply the thruster, then you want to hop in and you want to thrust into the PvP zone. Okay, with the thruster on, the fastest takeoff is you want to start your engine, look directly up with your cursor, holding W, then you want to hit vulture mode, angle your thopter out by pressing S to tilt your nose upward, and then press the thruster. You will beam into the sky, go all the way up till you get the notification that you're increasing fuel usage due to high altitude. Then you want to turn the thruster off, vulture, align your cursor with the horizon, then double tap the thruster. That will instantly put you at the fastest glide speed. All right, now that you're flying into the PvP zone, recognize that you are untouchable with the thruster. Nobody can shoot you down. You have to be the worst pilot in the game to get shot down using a thruster. And most of the time, if somebody sees you with the thruster, they're not going to pursue you because they know they can't catch you. Now you have free reign to pretty much explore wherever you want. You want to fly to each and every rock formation, vulture down into it, scan all the areas, and you could check your map to see which nodes are on that island after you've scanned it with your Ornithopter scanner. And if you find an island that has some good stuff on it, go ahead and drop down, hop out, mine. Now understand, you're really not in no danger in your Ornithopter. It's pretty easy to get away from people in your Ornithopter. The real danger is when you're outside of it. When mining nodes, you want to land pretty much right next to the node. You never want to be too far from your Ornithopter. It's better to start your engines and land to each and every single node, flying up and down, than having to run across while someone's raining rockets down on your head because you're too far from your Ornithopter. Stay close to your damn Ornithopter and fly to each and every freaking node. That way, if somebody does pop out on you, you're already in your Ornithopter and you can fly away. And that's without the shield too. You could turn the shield on to be extra safe, but the shield can make you be seen from way further out. You're glowing blue, so it makes people in air much easier to see you on the ground. When mining, you want to mine like a paranoid mental patient. As soon as you scan the rock, you're kind of looking up, you're scanning, looking up, mining, looking up, then hopping in. Fly up, land again, scan the rock with your cutter array, look up, mine, hop back in. If you do this, it increases your chances of not getting caught. Don't be lottie dying, skipping around, being kilometers away from your Ornithopter. That's when you get caught. Now, once you get comfortable and you have, you got a good feel for how your deep desert is, and you see a couple of good rock formations with some good nodes, and your personal inventory's full, you can go ahead, if you feel safe, land, swap out the thruster, and put the storage on. Now, be careful. If your inventory is full, you will drop your thruster when you swap it out. So make sure to pick up your thruster if your inventory's full after you unload all the stuff into the scout storage. The evasive maneuver for when you're getting shot. So if you're getting shot at, what you want to do to get out as quick as possible is you want to run to your Ornithopter, immediately start the engines, and like I said before, look up and hold W and look up to ensure you're traversing as fast as you can vertically. To hit max altitude, vulture out of there, tap W, looking at the horizon line until you see your speed going up to 172, which is the max glide speed for the Mk5 wings. And fly in a straight line back to your base. They're going to be shooting you, they're going to be rocketing you, but maintain forward momentum. You're eventually going to fly so far out of their render distance, they'll either give up chasing you or you'll be in the PvE zone before they can even kill you. Your Ornithopter is really, really tanky, believe it or not. Even the Mark IV is really, really tanky. The first thing to go are the wings, and that is how you slowly descend, and that is how you lose everything. So whenever you're landing back at base, make sure to keep your Ornithopter wings topped up at max repair. Now, mining titanium and Stravidium nodes, that's the easy part. You'll find that you could make hundreds and hundreds of plastinium ingots whenever you want. The real kick in the balls is mining spice sand in the deep desert. Now, this is going to be server dependent. Some of you guys might have a chill server that lets you mine on the heavy ones. Everyone's chilling. And some of you guys might be in a guild run hellscape to where you won't even be able to mine at the large spice sand. There's 3 different spice spots. There's small spice plumes, would get you about 500. There's medium spice plumes, would get you about 20,000. And then there's the large. The mediums are your bread and butter. They don't stick out like a sore thumb. The plume mushroom cloud doesn't stay in the air for a very long time. They're very low key and they're not really marked on the map, on the big deep desert map as far as I'm concerned. Now, if you want to know where all the spice plumes are, there's a map that updates weekly. Just type in deep desert map, Dune Awakening on Google, and it should be the first result. And you'll find it shows where the big node islands are and where the big spice plumes are, even the down ships, even the research station. You want to stay away from the large spice sand deposits unless you're farming really early in the morning or really late at night. Again, it's server dependent. Look and see what's going on, okay? Fly around a little bit, get a feel for it. If you see a sand crawler operating on the ground, then a big guild is there and they're probably not going to let you go down. Although sometimes on my server, I saw somebody ask in the chat, they said, hey, is it okay if I just fill this assault ornithopter up real quick and then I'll be out of here? And they, yeah, sure, that's fine. So if your server's chill and you ask, they might just let you, but for the most part, you're really not going to be touching the larges on a toxic server unless it's really early in the morning or really late at night, but the mediums are your bread and butter. To never have the worm aggro on you, the best method I found is to land on a spice field, make 3 to 4 compactions, pick up the sand, immediately hop back in your ornithopter, fly up in the air, then rotate to another side of it. Compact 3 to 4 times, pick it up, hop inside the ornithopter, then fly up. The worm will never come if you stay in the air every 3 to 4 compactions. Now, every time you compact, you want to be looking up in the air to see if there's any ornithopters rendering in distance. You can't really fully rely on the sound of ornithopters because most people are in vulture mode. Most people are gliding, so you can't hear an ornithopter when it's gliding. So you want to be, every time you're compacting, look up, compact, look up, compact, or 1, 2, 3, 4, compact, then look up real quick, then pick up the sand, fly in the air, rotate. If you see another player come, all you got to do is use voice chat or type in the thing. Every time I see another player come, I'll hover in the air, never stay on the ground looking up at them. I'll hover in the air and just kind of stay there looking at them. Then I'll hop in the voice chat and I'll be like, we chilling? And a couple of times if they land and start compacting, then we're chilling. Or they'll just be like, yeah, no, we're good. So if you see somebody else come, assume that they're hostile until they're not. Even if they're there, never trust them, okay? When you're compacting and you see somebody else there and you're rotating, you want to be compacting behind your ornithopter out of their line of sight because you never know when someone's aiming a spit dart at your head. Never let your guard down. Once you got your ornithopter fully loaded, then it's time to fly back. Since you don't have your thruster on, again, start your engine, hold W and look directly up on your cursor, hit max altitude, vulture, tap W until you reach maximum glide speed and glide home. Now, if you want to be extra safe when flying back, stay away from the rock formations. That's where most likely players are going to be, or they're flying from island to island. So when flying back, try to go into the gaps where the rock formations aren't. Go to big open areas of sand when flying back home. You're less likely to run into players flying around. What you're going to realize is flying back in the deep desert when you have a bunch of loot is so damn boring and it's so damn long. So have a show queued up, have something else going on in the background because it's going to be so boring. You're going to wish somebody started shooting at you so you had something to do. Deposit all your spice sand or ore. Once all your chests are full, or once you think you got enough and you want to cook it all, then you could bring your assault ornithopter out from Haga Basin, load it all up, and bring it all back to Haga Basin and start cooking. Now, once you start getting some plastinium ingots and a good amount of spice sand, In order, what you want to build of the T6 machines is first and foremost, you want to get the medium spice refinery as fast as possible, then the large ore refinery, and then anything after that, you can kind of choose whatever you want to get. You can do the advanced survival fabricator to make a Mark 6 cutter array, or you can make the advanced vehicle fabricator if you want to start crafting tier 6 wings, tier 6 engines, and thrusters. Now, when flying into the PvP zone, you're going to be scared at first, but like with all things in life, the more you do something, the less scary it's going to be. Whenever I'm in the deep desert PvP zone, I was already thinking about what I'm going to do when I lose it. Little did I know I would not lose a single Ornithopter. The only 2 Ornithopters I lost were to server disconnects. Never to players, never to the worm, and never to the storm. And that's pretty much it. That's how you get everything tier 6 without dying. Now, you probably will die, to be honest, but again, I've never died or lost a Thopter. That wasn't a server disconnect. The deep desert is 100% doable as a solo player.